So you say that the game invades hearts and minds, but is it really is it region based? Because does it invade our hearts, or is it really American supported? Or is there any other influence? Because for someone from the war areas, it's a game that is completely from another perspective. So can you comment on this?
Yeah, well, I agree. I think that that those games, and especially America's Army, is designed by the American Army to promote the American Army. And Call of Duty also had done, the producers of Call of Duty also had done interviews with veterans and asked them how was war, how did you
how did you experience the war?
How did you How did you experience the war? Take those images and put it in a game, as to promote in a certain way European and Western thought.
So to add some realism, they really pulled real subjects from the whole story of wars, American wars, to make people more immersive in such games. Now that we're talking about the production of those games, is there a way to? I think there's a way to link that to control societies, because I think those games are really the missions, the layouts, the point of views, the approaches are really connected to the modes of production, and that's the American context, that's the Western context. So these products are really controlled by the government, the governing apparatus. So this in a way really could introduce the control society notion of Deleuze. But in the game itself, it's really there are certain modern warfare devices that convey messages that really that are in a way an evidence of the control society, such as UAVs, spyware, and such. So the control society is really evident in the game, but we could take that apart, like in the game world as in the world outside the game, the real world. Because my opinion is that these games, in creative sense, are really controlled to such a framework to support the framework, the thoughts of a system, of the American system or the modes of production.
And the modern warfare has also evolved through the games. In Call of Duty, it was pretty much just a war, like Medal of Honor. You were in Second World War, and it has evolved through the years with a UAV jammer, UAV scanner, UAV jammer. Most modern techniques that depict somehow how war's done these days.
Yeah, because if you can think about it, you can like the discourse. If you can think about it, it gets more acceptable. So believing is seeing in a sense, instead of seeing is believing. So I think this games or even other media objects that show war are and are presented to a Western audience are really supporting some ideology that is fetishizing the war.
Yeah, it's like a really Marxist reading, right?
So
sort of production of cultural items that sort of reinforce the dominant ideology.
Yeah, definitely.
Sort of use them to legitimate some of the actions and stuff that has happened during the war.
Yeah.
Like,
Down. Jumping off! Threat down. Positioning. Got it.
Even though that you can find a certain ideology in both American's Army and Call of Duty, ludologists will agree that most players, probably all players, will mostly play these games for its fun, for the eye-hand coordination, to gain better weapons, for the sake of gaining better weapons, and not so much for ideology.
Right. Out. Reloading.
You can find the ludology perspective, especially in the multiplayer mode, where players get to earn a higher rank, get to unlock achievements, where they get better skills by playing more and more, and it leaves out the whole ideology of the game.
Because you could choose either side, you know, you could be the good ones, like in this case it's the American Navy or soldier, and the other side, I mean the more terrorist like stereotypical looking guy, so you could be both sides and have your own motives.
What's it called in Counter-Strike again? It's terrorists against...
But there is really an ideology already in those names. But but with Call of Duty itself, there are two armies, and you could pick them both in multiplayer. So the ideology gets a bit lost or vaguely disappears.
Like who plays Call of Duty for the narrative, for the ideology? It's just a matter of, you know, the satisfaction that's derived from having an objective and completing that objective, and sort of bypasses or overshadows like any message that the game is trying to communicate. So I think a lot of players maybe won't even pick up on a lot of the ideologically charged messages of the game. Like I think for a lot of players it's just for fun, and when they shut it off, they don't take up on any message that the game is trying to communicate.
Yeah, that's a good point. And with this critique we could I think end this last session of Gamecademy for today. See you.
Yeah, see you.